Boxed Roux cube makes Japanese cream stew easy, but they can't touch this velvety from scratch version. Think chowder vibes, but richer and creamier. Watch the snow white sauce coat your spoon. If you'd like a printable version of this recipe to keep in your kitchen, just Google cream stew Sudachi to find it. Before we start cooking, let's get our prep sorted. First, take 1 tablespoon of unsalted butter out of the fridge and let it soften to room temperature. You want it to easily squash between your fingers. Then cut your chicken thigh into bite-sized pieces. If you're using skin on thighs, that's perfect. I recommend thigh over breast as it stays beautifully tender even after simmering, but that's your choice. For the vegetables, slice half an onion, mince 1 clove of garlic, and slice about 5 button mushrooms. For the potatoes and carrots, cut to create pieces of similar size, around 2 to 3 centimeters. As always, all ingredients and exact measurements for this recipe can be found in the description box below. Alright, let's get cooking. Swirl about 1 teaspoon of neutral oil into your pan over medium-low heat. When the oil shimmers, lay in your chicken pieces, skin side down if you're using skin on sides. Sprinkle with just a pinch of salt and let them sit undisturbed for 2 to 3 minutes. Listen for a gentle hiss, not an aggressive sizzle. We're aiming for the signature snow white cream stew. Aggressive browning creates fond, and while fond is usually a great thing for flavour, it's too dark for cream stew's signature snowy appearance this time. Once you see pale beige around the edges, flip the pieces and see the other side. Normal pink, but be careful not to brown. Now add your onion, garlic and mushrooms to the pan with another pinch of salt. Keep the heat up medium-low and saute, stirring frequently. Watch as the onions turn translucent and glossy, the garlic releases its fragrance, and the mushrooms shrink as they release their liquid. This is where layered flavor starts to build. Again, no browning. Once the onions have softened and everything looks glossy, pour in 3 tablespoons of white wine. Let it simmer until reduced by more than half. Keep the reduction steady, not raging. If you go too hard, the wine turns harsh. Once reduced, turn off the heat and set this pan aside. We'll come back to it. Now we're switching to our second pot. In a separate pot, combine 300 ml of water, 3 tablespoons of white wine, 1 teaspoon of chicken bouillon powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1 bay leaf. Give it a mix. Add your potatoes and carrots to this pot. We're heating the root vegetables together with broth from the start. This helps them cook evenly to the core rather than overcooking the outside while the middle stays raw. Bring everything to a gentle boil over medium heat, then reduce to a simmer. Keep it gentle for about 3 minutes. Time to bring everything together. Slide your chicken pieces and the aromatic onion, mushroom, garlic mixture from the skillet into the pot with vegetables. Give everything a gentle stir to distribute. Cover with a lid and let it simmer gently. Set a timer for 5 minutes. While the pot simmers, grab a small bowl and add 2 tablespoons of cake flour, all-purpose works too, 2 tablespoons of your softened unsalted butter, and 1 teaspoon of white miso paste. Use a fork or small spatula to work them into a smooth paste. It will look slightly like a town buttercream when it's ready. This is my modified version of a French technique called Beurre Manié, and it's your lump prevention insurance. The butter coats each flour particle, preventing them from clumping the moment they hit hot liquid. How is it modified? I added a bit of white miso to add just enough Japanese complexity to make people ask what makes this taste so good, without even identifying the source. Uncover your pot and pierce a potato and carrot with a bamboo skewer. It should slide in with only slight resistance, tender but not falling apart. This check is important before we add dairy, as adding dairy to undercooked vegetables can actually slow their softening. Vegetables tender? Perfect. Turn off the heat completely and whisk in half of your Beurre Manié until fully melted. Then add the rest and whisk until smooth. If any lumps form, take the pot off the heat entirely and whisk vigorously. In a worst case scenario, you can strain them out, but working in batches like this usually prevents any drama. Now turn the heat back onto a gentle simmer and keep stirring for about 2 minutes. Watch the transformation. You'll see the sauce go from brothy to velvety as the starch granules swell and gelatinize. Once the sauce has thickened, it's time for the dairy. From here, never let it boil. Add your 100 ml of heavy cream and 100 ml of whole milk in small splashes, stirring after each addition. The sauce will thin slightly as the cold dairy cools it, then thicken again as you return it to gentle heat. Just so you know, my cream is 35% fat. Keep the heat on the absolute lowest setting and warm everything through for about 3 minutes, stirring constantly. Now dip your spoon in the sauce, then run your finger across the back. If the line holds clean without the sauce running back together, that's the texture we're after. Turn off the heat, stir in 1 teaspoon of freshly grated hard cheese, I'm using grana padano today, and add just a pinch of nutmeg. Now taste. Adjust the salt a little at a time until it's savoury to your liking. This is your moment to fine tune. For pop of colour and freshness, I want to add some steamed broccoli. Place them in a heat-proof bowl with a splash of water, cover with a lid, plate or plastic wrap, and microwave for 3 minutes at 600 watts. Of course, using a steamer is perfectly fine too. Divide the stew into serving bowls, top with your steamed broccoli, and finish with a crack of black pepper. Now in Japan, the cream stew companion is a highly debatable topic. Some have it with rice, others with bread such as baguettes. But personally, I'm team baguette. Toasted slices of crusty bread dunked into the luxurious sauce. Either way, you really can't go wrong. And there you have it, Japanese cream stew made from scratch. Snowy, velvety, mild, and deeply comforting, with tender chicken and spoon-soft vegetables in a sauce that's rich without being too heavy. Want even more delicious recipes? Grab my free cookbook from the link in the description. Okay, let's go over the ingredients one more time, and if you're ready to cook, grab the written instructions by clicking the full recipe box with a picture that's about to pop up on your screen. That's a wrap. You can find the full printable version of this recipe on my website, linked right here on the screen. It has all the extra details to help you get it perfect every time. If you enjoy this, check out my winter playlist. And next week, I'm making chicken katsudon. Hit subscribe so you don't miss it. See you then.